afternoon, JCPS leadership teams, and welcome to our support for new teachers session. My name is Tara Isaacs, and I'm the Director for Professional Development and Learning. I'm joined today by Sarah Reed. She's formerly a Kentucky Teacher of the Year, who's also a member of our district new teacher mentoring team, and currently an AIC coach at Coleridge Taylor Montessori School. And last but not least, Erin Wainwright also joins us today to bring in some new teacher perspective since she was just in that role this past year. She is currently working at Semple Elementary. So to just jump right in with our session, the purpose of the session today is to bring some awareness and provide a few supports to the work of administrator teams in assisting new teachers. Okay, on the next slide, the research for teacher leadership and development, it indicates that the more we invest in our teachers, whether they're in year one or if they're spending time working to develop and strengthen the skill sets of a more experienced teacher. Either way, when we work with teachers, we know that building up teacher leadership positively impact our culture in JCPS, our learning environment, and it ensures a sustainable workforce. So, in moving on to slide 3, a couple of things I just wanted to make sure we didn't take for granted that you knew already is we at the district level, we provide all new teachers with 3 big opportunities to be supported. The first is new teacher orientation. It's for both new teachers to the profession and new teachers to the district. That actually started up yesterday. This is an effort to introduce all our teachers to our learning culture. And then the second thing is we provide an opportunity for a new teacher mentoring program. It is optional, but we highly encourage new teachers to the profession that they will take advantage of this opportunity. We do make exceptions if you have something unique, as in someone from another country has taught, but maybe first time. We do have exceptions, so you definitely want to seek that out if there's an extenuating circumstance in your building. This is a year-long program. It's comprised of approximately 30 hours of mentor and new teacher kind of collaborative work time. It includes observations and along with structured coaching so that we can ensure the new teachers being helped in what is considered to be their most important and vulnerable times of their career. The third support is we provide a year's worth of PD sessions, structured to focus on topics that the new teachers have said that they struggle in the most, or that they felt unprepared, or they needed extra strategies. Which brings our focus now to how schools can be of support. So let's start with the video and hear from a couple of new teachers, and let's hear their perspectives.
I feel like my job is trying to not only teach curriculum-based things, but also to be a life coach for them and to unlock their potential.
Jared Reed is a first-year teacher.
I want to make sure these kids learn. I want to be the best I can be at all times.
Often, new teachers are alone and get limited professional guidance.
The average person does not know what it's like to be in this fire.
You kind of feel like you're out in the middle of an ocean by yourself, drowning. Ladies and gentlemen, stay focused. I took it personally, like maybe it's me, maybe I'm just not cut out to be a teacher.
Too many new teachers quit. Almost 50% leave the classroom within the first 5 years.
When you have new teachers come in, you put a lot of training into them, so you want them to stay around.
High turnover costs the nation $7.4 billion a year.
Turnover of teachers is really a crisis situation.
Kids have a relationship with the teacher, and when they lose the person they were connected with, it hurts them. Not just losing the teacher, I'm losing those kids.
We don't want to have teachers out on an island and they don't have any direction. We want to keep our teachers.
Mentors like Trinika are the solution. In Hillsborough County, every first and second year teacher gets paired with a mentor.
How's it going?
Going great.
This is my 13th year in education. I have 14 first and second year teachers.
I went to college on a baseball scholarship. When we had batting practice, our coach was a stickler and trained me out of my bad habits. Miss Thornton is my coach here. Miss Thornton is my mentor.
Only the best teachers are chosen to become mentors.
Once they're selected, they go into a training program that really helps them to become good mentors.
I'm sitting in my class trying to teach, and it'll be just like an outburst.
But you're gonna get a negative number.
Does she normally wear sunglasses in class?
If it's not disruptive, then I'll kind of let it ride.
Okay. She is running the show.
You're gonna get negative 25. Oh, you're gonna get 125.
So what she told me to do is to get them more involved in my lesson. Oh my goodness, good job. Okay, now.
I come in and do classroom observations, questions that the students are asking, that the teacher is asking, the behaviors, how they're interacting with each other.
She's like really good. Like she sits in the corner with the laptop and she gets every word. I don't know how.
I just gather evidence. We look at the evidence and we talk about what could have improved the lesson or what went well in that lesson.
You're like CSI for teaching.
Yes, I am.
Crime scene investigator.
That's true. I like that.
And just to everyone in the audience, it's a really good reminder. It takes us all back to our first year of teaching. And we all know that nothing looks like what it looks like today and what we've all been through in our past. It's a powerful video to start conversations and just kind of bring you back to what that teacher is facing. Sometimes their first time out on their own, first time holding down a job, a profession. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Sarah and let her talk to you a little bit about the frame of mind of that first year teacher and how we might be able to support.
Okay, so this is the teacher emotional roller coaster graph. And this is a brick and mortar teacher emotional roller coaster graph. With NTI, there's probably a little bit more anticipation at the beginning of this year than last because our new teachers don't necessarily have the schema of NTI and the amount of information to prepare for NTI. So while our new teachers are in that anticipation mode, they can quickly go into that survival and disillusionment. We do not want our teachers leaving the profession, especially now. It's really hard to find those new teachers, and you know, because you're in those hiring roles. So what a mentor does is it bridges the anticipation all the way to reflection, because they're moving into what's called a student-centered coaching role, where they're goal setting, they're co-planning, they're teaching, they're monitoring progress again, and having those reflective conversations. Do we want to move to the next slide? Tara, I'm going to throw it off, send it back to you.
Okay, so what we have right here is, this is looking back at a snapshot of data from a previous year working with new teachers. And what you see is some growth from semester 1 to 2 in the perceptions that our principals shared, principals and mentors in working with new teachers. And although that we see that the highest needs of new teachers are the yellow color, and you can see from semester 1 to semester 2, the gap, it widened just a little bit, but we eliminated the middle support. So whether we have an intensive group, we can see definitely the progress of the blue area enlarging to show that as we work strategically in coaching and mentoring and working with new teachers, we are making progress, but it does not eliminate the issues entirely. That is a work in progress. So that's the first thing I want to point out of just the progress and benefits of making sure that we add that additional structure of support. And then on the right of your screen, this is a survey that all new teachers coming into JCPS receive. It's basically a way for them to register for new teacher orientation. And we asked just the question of what type of support, as you're entering into our district, what kind of supports do you anticipate needing that first day of school and throughout the year? And as you can tell right here, there's just a couple of comments. I'm not a new teacher, but I would appreciate a mentor. Another one says, I hope to get advice that will help me grow in this profession, getting tips from veteran teachers. And then the third one, they're looking for support in handling difficult, unique situations. They have training, but they want to make sure that they can anticipate being ready for some things that aren't covered in what their background was in student teaching. So you kind of get an idea. They're sometimes very specific and sometimes kind of general, but it gives us an idea of where they are mindset-wise when they come to the district. And one of the things that we've done in collaborating with human resources, for those of you who know Dr. Marco Munoz, he's taking the survey feedback we get and reaching out to the schools in which those teachers are at to let them know, here, this is what's on your person's mind right now. Can we find a connection to make sure they're ready for that NTI environment? So a couple of things I just wanted to point out there, and I'll tag back with Sarah.
Okay, Dr. Coleman reached out to Dr. Isaacs to create a support list, and they went and brainstormed what you have in front of you. Various departments have looked at the document and given feedback. While it's a working document, please use it as it's been created for our schools and our new teachers' needs in mind. Like support number 5, provide a good virtual schedule to share with all teachers. And my favorite one is support number 9, engage the intentional planning of self-care. NTI is, as we prepare, it takes a lot of brain capacity to pay attention to everything that you're going to do. And not only that, but we have new teachers that will want to be perfect. So we just have to be mindful of that, encourage them to take that time and move away from that computer. Next slide. Having a school level induction that mirrors the work of the district is doing as another layer of support for new teachers that you can think about doing in your buildings. This is a graphic that was shared at CTM, Coleridge Taylor, so that teachers could see the difference between mentors and a buddy. So mentors are all the new teachers coming in from the colleges are considered new, so they get a mentor. But we also have some new to from other schools, new to from other parts of the state, and new to from other states coming in. So we want to assimilate them into the culture of CTM, so they are assigned a buddy. But the buddies and the mentors, they also need to see how their capacity building structures are the same or a little bit different. So this was shared in a presentation. We're at this section right here. Dr. Isaacs has the new teacher mentoring registration. I believe this is on PD Central and it's on the principal priority page, but you'll want to think about who do you want mentoring your new teachers in your the new babies. So once you have that, you can share the mentoring requirements and have those new teachers sign up for those registrations. I know last night, because I'm in charge of working with CTM's new teacher induction program within the school, I sent out letters, emails to the mentor-mentee partnerships, and I also gave the new teachers this link so they could directly sign up. We also right now have a teacher testimony, and that is Miss Wainwright, and she is coming in from Semple Elementary. She was an alt cert. She was at CTM, and I mentored her through the program. But she's going to really talk about this perspective and the needs of that new teacher as they move through NTI. Erin, would you like to share? Unmute yourself and share.
Thank you, Tara. So that mentor-mentee relationship is very important to first year and even second year teachers. Your mentor helps you sift through all that information, all the resources that are coming in. You can really lean on your mentor for that support. And it's so important that you ask questions and always just go back to your mentor, because as a first year teacher, there's so much coming in. They can help you establish relationships with people in your building, establish relationships with your students in your class, give you strategies for that. Also helping you reach out to families. Having that mentor-mentee relationship is really important. And during NTI, we're kind of doing something really different right now. So you're really going to need that assistance from a mentor who can just tell you, hey, slow down, or hey, push forward. Maybe relax a little bit. Don't try so hard to be perfect, because you're going to make mistakes. So I've really appreciated my mentor-mentee relationship, and I think it is a great program that we're offering, and I'm all here for it.
What we wanted to make sure you knew was there are levels of supports in our district already available. The district is absorbing a large chunk of it. You have the option of the district working with the school in the mentoring program. And then our new work for this year is focused on really helping schools to differentiate the needs of their induction program to meet the needs of their staff, while also having some foundational items that are consistent across every building. And that's the work that we're gearing up for this year. This last slide right here is just giving you an idea. This is our core, an informational slide, but it's our core team who work to support new teachers through our district mentoring program. We also work very closely with Dr. Marco Munoz in HR. He's often boots on the ground support. He makes sure to visit new teachers in their classrooms to talk with them. He's oftentimes the difference between one staying or deciding to leave the profession. And so between the people that you may or may not know, across the top you see myself. The second person is Jennifer Colley, who was in professional development and learning for several years. Cheryl Bibby, who is a member of curriculum design and learning innovation. He is also a part of the mentoring core team. And then Charlotte Ivy, who used to be in professional development and learning, now a science instructional lead. And then Sarah Reed, who's on our call today. These are the people that are primarily designing a lot of the work that we do, and it's in collaboration with many of the people in your building that are on the coaching or have expressed interest in building this program.
Yeah, some of the things we have in plan for this year to support our new teachers and schools is to have a new teacher Google site. And also I wanted to mention, when the mentors go in through the mentoring program, if they did it last year, they'll go into an experienced mentoring program. And new mentors will go in the new mentor program. So mentors will not get the same training. We're always going to be building on that training to really support that student-centered coaching model.
How will they gain access to the different modules? And John Rock had the same question. He just wanted to know what questions will be answered as far as for them access to the modules.
Okay, so when they receive their letter from Human Resources offering them their offer pending paperwork, there's a link to our new teacher orientation saying, hey, we'd like for you to sign up for this. That same letter that they received has an attachment underneath it that was hidden when they first received it, but it's unhidden now. So that same letter has the entire new teacher orientation schedule. And if on the next question, I actually will pull that up. Or Elaine, can I impose on you to pull that up while I'm talking through this? Do you have time to pull it up?
I do, actually. I have time. So the title of that was New Teacher Orientation, if I'm correct.
And you can find that on the principal priority page. It is in the center column as an FYI, and it's highlighted this week. I wrote protocol and put a highlight on it. But if you click on that link, it takes you directly to the letter that all new teachers receive, and then you can look at the entire itinerary of what is mandatory, what is optional, and employees have 30 days. And for those of you who are thinking ahead, our launch for new employee orientation, that will be probably in the next 2 weeks. We're trying to get through new teacher orientation and our flex days first. Well, she's pulling that up. There's essentially 3 ways that they'll be notified. Number one, by the letter that you see at the top, where they can see the link and see their sessions right underneath. The second, it's posted on principal priority page, where you could send it directly to them and say, hey, time to go. The third way is on Monday, anyone who has signed up for new teacher orientation will receive like a no reply email that reminds them, hey, in case you've not seen this or heard, here is your chance. And so they can use that week next week, non-flex time or non-flex. They actually will have a choice between non-flex hours, flex hours, or if they just want to do it on work time and get no credit, but there's some options for them. Yes. All right, Elaine, do you mind to kind of, okay. So by the way, while we've got Elaine on here, giant shout out from the virtual world. Elaine has been the mastermind with taking what is in my head and lassoing it into a vision. But able to do a virtual or a summit in person or a conference, we've done it this way. You can see the very beginning are our welcome sessions. It gives you the length of time to the left, the topic, followed by the presenter, and then the video link. When you click on the video link, you have the power of pause to start and stop. But what I want to draw your attention to at the very top of the slide that Elaine has up is there's a Google form set up, and it's categorized into sections so that as they complete a section, they can go into the Google form and upload their answers. The first is just some preliminary information. It is open to people with Gmail or Yahoo or any kind of outside account, because we know that a lot of new teachers do not have their JCPS account just yet. And I'm certain they don't know how to navigate Control, so we try to eliminate that barrier. So once we have their information, when the accounts catch up with them, we'll go back in and make sure that we credit it to them appropriately. The other thing I've heard people are doing is they just have a pen and paper and they're jotting down notes by each session so that they can answer the questions towards the end. So you see there's a human resources section divided up into basic information, benefits, and then also receiving a computer. We have best practice sessions, followed by a second round of best practice sessions. And then we have I think there's a content one below the beginning of the year, things to know, kind of like Twitter setup, how to begin NTI 2.0. We have a teachers panel, and then we have content area. We look, how do we take someone coming into our district and immerse them into our learning culture? There's so much for schools to remember, and because we're not seeing people on a daily basis in person, we wanted to capture as many things as possible. And then if you'll go to, if you'll back up, that was exactly where I wanted to go, Elaine. This is just some people behind the scenes. If you'll back up to the one that had the thank you slide, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's just some people, just a shout out to a lot of people that aren't listed in the program that do a lot of work behind the scenes. And then these are links. You heard today from Dr. Coleman at 9:30 about the foundational 5 things. That will be covered during mentoring this year. We will be making sure to be very intentional with covering that information. But here's some other links that just immerse them into things that are happening in our district so that they are part of our culture. And then the very last page is, for those of you back in the days of science fairs, you had a booth that you traveled to kind of learn about what each person, or think about an exhibition of learning. Each of these links are the equivalent of you going up to a person from that company and finding out what they have to say. So if you clicked on one, then it would automatically draw up a picture and a video of what they offer and how they would be interested in collaborating with your school or teachers or programs. So that's the new teacher orientation in a nutshell. If all this information goes through or you don't remember it, you can always contact professional.learning@jefferson.kyschools.us.